YouTube. This is the video of YugiohTube tournament number 17. It was an excellent match between me, YugiohTube.com, and BboySpiral. This faster version of the video is actually not that clear. I'm not sure why, but when I speed up the video, it gets pretty unclear. So there's really not anything I can do about it yet. I'm gonna work on that. But Darkworld Mofo is gonna have a version of this video on his profile also. But that's going to be from the watcher's perspective. This is actually from my own perspective, so I'm just going to run through it as I talk about how the duel went. So first of all, obviously, I got to go first, so that was perfect. Right after that, I also opened up extremely well. I mean, I really couldn't ask for much more. The best part about this was that I got to utilize randomizer. I decided that since I'm not normal summoning right now, I can actually use this effect, and if I draw any monster, then I can just normal summon it and use launcher. Of all the monsters I could have drawn, I drew Armageddon Knight. It was perfect. Now I would have a second target for the launcher, and on top of that, it's a level 4. So from here on, it was game over practically, because I also already drew some nice traps. The Book of Moon is nice, the MST is nice. So yeah, I have good back row. On my first search, I got the barrier, and then I got to use one of my combos I actually don't get to do very often. It does require 1-for-1 most of the time, but it's a nice combo. I stacked Orange Fiend with Lavava Chain, then made Formula. So I would draw the Orange Fiend, and right there get to search again. So that was pretty awesome. That was fun, and I get to retain the Formula there for next turn, as well as a full back row, so it's practically a wrap from here on. I'll let him do the upstart. That's not a problem. Here right now, I'm wondering what he's playing, because it could be Dark Worlds, it could be Spellbooks, but then again, almost every deck can play an upstart, so those are the only common ones I know. Immediately on his end phase, I decided I didn't need to leave him with any back rows, so I got rid of both, and his back row didn't quite reveal what he was playing either yet. So I went in with the punches and everything. And I decided to use Lavava Chain's effect as well, obviously just to put the Orange Fiend on top for the next turn, so all my plays were set, because I still have the barrier I searched, and Book of Moon, so there's 2 barriers in the Book of Moon right there that I didn't have to use turn 1. And yeah, game 1 quickly came to an end, as he tried to, there you go, finally reveal what he's doing, and he's activating the effect to summon Priestess, and I decided I would barrier that, because clearly from his spells that he had, it didn't look like there was much he could do there. When he summoned that, I realized I could lead to another Priestess, so immediately on his summon, when he activated the power, it's one of the conditions for that Spellbook monster, that Spellbook has to be activated. So as soon as he activated power, I Book of Mooned it. During the siding phase, I realized there isn't much I have that I can do against a Spellcaster deck. Yeah, thank God they don't have their Judgment anymore, but the deck is still quite crazy, especially with their utilization of Regeki Break, Phoenix Wing, stuff like that. And so I decided to put in a macro and a Night Beam, so I can get rid of stuff without him chaining it. Now clearly game 2 I opened up pretty bad. I mean, if it's not bad enough already that I did drop 4 monsters, one of them is a Mirage that's almost entirely dead. So yeah, he opened up pretty well. Obviously, he got his searches going, and he immediately started playing out all his main combos. And yeah, there wasn't much I could do here, so he was just doing his thing. Tower is out. He has back row. Now Tower is amazing. I mean, he's gonna keep drawing 2 cards every turn, 1 for draw phase, 1 for Tower, so that sucks. And on top of that, Tower empties out his grave, so he could activate the spellbook that requires no spellbooks in the graveyard. I sent Stygian into the grave with Armageddon Knight, because I decided I would try to empty out my hand as much as possible. I removed Stygian, especially summon Stygian himself. Thank God he's capable of doing that. And I just went in for punches. Obviously he decided to do that business, get more searches. I had a feeling that was coming. That's one of the obvious common combos they have. Once again, I'm actually sorry for the quality. I'm not sure how to increase this quality when I speed up the video. The original is actually pretty clear. It's just as clear as it's supposed to be when you're watching from a watcher's perspective. So I'll work on that. But yeah, main phase 2 I just made Lavava Chain, and now I sent the Archfiend to the grave. And yeah, I set down some back row, and next turn I was looking good. I was, I realized that it's not that bad right now. I can actually make some plays on my turn. I'll have the Mirage, I'll have Necromancer. I can summon them both thanks to Stygian. He activated Crescent. Yeah, Spellbook or Crescent. I was scared he would have that because he was emptying out his grave of all Spellbooks. So he got his Wisdom. I also asked him to reveal the other two because, maybe he actually doesn't have the other two in there. So that's always, it's something you should definitely ask, because a lot of times they might not have it. They might have drawn it, or they might have slided it out. You never know. Always ask them to reveal the other two cards they call for the die roll. But yeah, now he was doing his stuff, the whole cycle of never-ending Spellbooks. And yeah, now I'm just watching, and it's all good. I'm used to watching because I usually make people watch as I play Infernity. Takes forever for my combos sometimes too. Thankfully, he was very proficient with the deck. I think he's been using it throughout the tournament itself. That's how he got here all the way. It was all Spellbooks. So yeah, he summons Priestess, and he has power activated. So more searches, and he destroys my precious MST. So now I was slightly scared that he might have back row at the end phase. That'll fuck me up, and obviously he will. And he searched enough to have whatever he needs. I take the damage and whatnot. I'm about to lose 1500 overall this turn. And yeah, he's got 2 back row. Now I know one of them is the one that he removes from playthings, but top deck of the century. Not only did I already have enough special summoning effects, but then I also got the launcher. So now I have Mirage, Necromancer, and Launcher with a barrier set. So this is where he does it. He activates the card that everyone fears in the Spellbook deck. Spellbook of Fate is way too capable of breaking any combo anyone would think of, and I immediately barriered it. And right when he did that, I barriered it, and after the barrier was done, it was almost clear that I think I have won this game, even with the horrible opening I had. I used Necro's effect. I got the tuner, I believe, the tuner that I needed, and I have Launcher face down. So I'm just praying he doesn't have MST. I discard Avenger, and everything works out beautifully because now I can mash into and suicide the Archfiend, and he dies, and Avenger comes back as a level 4 tuner, which is great because now I can Launcher the Archfiend, search, sync for 8. And right after the sinking for 8, I can then use Mirage for 2 more searches as 100 eyes. I made the Void Ogre first, just in case this trap was something that could break combos. And Mirage brings back those 2. Necromancer's already used up, so that was perfect also. Yeah, I get the barrier, sync for 8, repeat with the 100 eyes. Now Mirage, I love Mirage because in the synchro version, Mirage single-handedly is 2 searches, and on top of that, not only is he 2 searches, but he also gets he's a great top deck, and he's the perfect 1-for-1 at so many times. So yeah, it looks good so far. I've made an amazing comeback, and everything's pretty much fixed up. Now he starts using towers. He has a 6-card hand with 1 face down, and I have Void Ogre and the barrier and the break I searched. So yeah, I had 2 barriers and break, I believe. So yeah, I'm just sitting on that, and I'm hoping that I can take this home 2-0 until this is that crucial thinking phase. He activates Spiritualism. Now, Spiritualism is basically, they could have named it Anti-Infernity back row, or, they could have named it something that's like Anti-Infernity overall, because it was made to destroy Infernities. Not only could I not negate it with Void Ogre Dragon or the barriers, but on top of that, all my other spells and traps were dead too now. So, it was something that devastated me. I couldn't do anything after that, and even though I made an amazing comeback from a monsterful hand, he's gonna take game 2 right now because now basically I have nothing besides these 2 beat sticks and dead traps and he has the full hand. He's starting to search again. His grave is decked out. His remove from play pile is decked out. You know, it's all in place for him now. So yeah, and on the side, I'm just talking to Team Reborn Tango. He's one of my really close friends, and I'm just semi-raging to him about how retarded spiritualism is. Like, oh my god, why did you need to make such a card? Yeah, he's making some nice combos that I didn't see coming either. And he reveals 3 again, summons Priestess. Obviously, Priestess is gonna start popping up my big beautiful dragons I have, and he got everything. He got everything. There goes Void Ogre Dragon. Activates a second tower, and now Fate is gonna set my Doom Dragon, and he runs that over. There you go. That's it. So now I'm like, maybe I can still do this. I wish I had searched 2 breaks. If I had more breaks instead of barriers, I could have broke everything right now. But on his draw, I try to break that, and he saves it. He saves it, obviously. So yeah. After that, it was practically a wrap, because now I don't have much. He's just gonna start popping. My barriers are dead. Obviously, he knows I have barriers. He's gonna destroy them anyway just because he can. Oh right, another reason he might have removed it was to activate the Crescent, so yeah, that works out. And I don't even ask him to reveal anymore, because it's like, I really don't see how I can win. I would have to top deck an Archfiend, and even then it would be kind of difficult, but he runs that over. I am still fighting. I bring back Avenger when Greffer dies. It's level 4. Now right here, if I would have top decked Archfiend with my barrier set on as soon as it's my turn, I could have possibly done something. I barriered his spellbook monster, and now I'm kind of sad because I drew mind control, but Avenger's level 4, so I can't even mind control. And on his turn, his Pot of Greed turns all day, drawing. He's got his deck down to 17 cards, and no spellbooks in his grave, so he's unable to destroy the face down I have. I go for more hope. Randomizer is hope. I might draw something that I can use next turn, or an Infernity break that I can activate next turn. And instead I get this shit. Not exactly the shit I needed right now, so I decide I don't know what to do with it. I mean, do I activate it? Do I not activate it? I really don't see a reason to activate it. I'm not making any plays right now. But I go ahead with it. I just use it just for the lulz. Maybe it'll scare him. Maybe he won't attack if he has that gun. But nothing. In fact, I shouldn't have Night Beam because he didn't have any spellbooks to activate Tower. So Night Beaming was pretty bad for me. The bright side was that he did attack Randomizer, and Avenger came back. So now I had level 8 plays I could do. Of course, that doesn't work out too well either, because right after that he activates the perfect card to nerf an Infernity deck. I still didn't quit though, because I had Infernity breaks, so maybe I could survive. And I'm hoping that I'll live. I don't know what I was really thinking though. I should have just Infernity breaked as soon as he drew, because now he's searching, and he's searching is gonna kill me. So game 2 comes to an end very fast as he does all his shenanigans. I try to destroy it. He saves it. Oh, he doesn't save it. Right, he doesn't save it, but he does bring out more than enough things to completely wreck me, because he doesn't even need to save it. Next turn, I'm gonna draw a silly Avenger that's been put on top of deck. I forgot for a second, yeah, because of all the talking to other people, but there was no hope. He even has a spellbook engraved for both either Priestess effect or Tower. Yeah, that's it. So we go to game 3. Game 3, I realized that, maybe I usually have this thing about who's going first. If my opponent is going first, I keep mind control. If I'm going first, I'll keep Monster Gate, because I can't really mind control anything on my first turn. I took out the calls for Mirror Forces because I was really hoping I would draw the Macrocosmo, and there it is. Lo and behold, I draw the Macrocosmo. So now that I see Macrocosmo, I'm like, maybe I should set up my grave as fast as possible. And I actually don't do it yet. I don't set my grave up, and I wasn't sure if I should or not, because I could have taken Randomizer to hand, use Greffer effect to send Randomizer and Archfiend to grave, But I was like, you know, maybe I'm just gonna hold it off. I'm just gonna wait just one more turn and see how this goes. And right immediately though, I was like, you know, I can't let him get spellbooks into the grave, because once he has spellbook cards in the grave, he starts recycling them, and it works out too well for him. So yeah, that happens, and macro is already active now. Normally he doesn't have many monsters that he can run me over with, so that's always good. And I have a book bottomless set, so that's okay. And the best part was I had an MST for myself. I had MST to stop the macrocosm. Now he forgets that he's got no spell cards, no spellbook cards in the grave, so he just told me now that he has master and power. It was knowledge that I won from, I guess, one of his misplays. You know, it's less of a misplay than anything else. But yeah, he decides not to set anything either, and that's when I'm like, oh, well then now it looks like I have a great hand because I drew a barrier. And with barrier in hand, I would like to have an Infernity face up. So immediately I grabbed the randomizer, and I'm like, you know, randomizer is even strong enough to actually fight. So there you go, everything is set up, and the field is looking very much in my favor. Usually macro is something that hurts Infernities, but a good player can utilize cards that are supposed to hurt them, and it's clearly not hurting me at all at the moment. Macro was the game winner for this round, because due to macro he couldn't keep his cycles going. You can see in the chat on the side that most of the watchers are even thinking like, wow, that's pretty much game over. And as soon as I want to get rid of macro, I have my own MST that I drew, and with the barrier and macro, it's like there's not much he can do at all. You know, he starts setting things, and I don't even MST them because I have Night Beam, so I don't really want to waste the MST for anything else. I wait a little, you know, see if he's gonna chain, and he doesn't activate it, I mean, so yeah, I just get rid of it. Still can't use randomizer's effect. I haven't used it since I've searched him, because I don't want to draw something I can't set, because then the barrier won't work. So it was good to see that I killed the effect Veiler. You know, another good thing about macro and defissure is that it prevents my opponent from having the macro plays. Sorry, the Veiler and Max C plays. So yeah, here he went pretty minus. You know, he didn't get to use the Spellbook Monsters effect, and the power won't search anything. He does try to save the monster, and I just barrier because I don't really care. I'm gonna be going plus, he's gonna be not going plus. So yeah, I drew a Mirror Force. I was happy because that's practically all he has. You know, possible abilities to run me over and stuff. Now I saw that I drew Archfiend, so I'm like, you know, this is good too. I can start punching even more. Not only did I do a little bit of burn, but I have big punches in. Now 1800 was the final punch he needed. I could have drawn Stygian Street Patrol also, that would have been enough, but yeah, that was it. I just macro held the field. He had Veiler again, and he had the Spellbook of Master that he couldn't recycle with. And because Master started failing, it won me the game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this match, and definitely sign up for YugiohTube tournament number 18. It's going to be up. So signups will be posted. Signups are actually posted right now on the blog, and let's see, let me just run through that real quick. Actually, no, I'll just make a separate video for that, but yeah. So thank you for watching, and definitely sign up for tournament number 18. I'm going to leave some links in the description below, and subscribe to Darkmode Mofo. He's been great help. You will see the video on his channel also, probably a much clearer version of it. And yeah, thank you.